Okay, I'm sure in your work you come across the annoying presence of error messages in Excel. Okay, there are many error messages that can come up, like divide by 0. If I have an 8 there and I have a 0 there, I mean, that's an error message. But probably the most common error message is when you do V lookups or H lookups with a V lookup false or an H lookup false, and there's something in the list and there's a name not in the list when you're looking up, let's say, people's salaries, and then you get an NA. And you'd like to get these crazy NAs to disappear, because if you want to average an entire column, it's not going to work. Okay, if you have NAs, you can't do any calculations. Okay, so here's an example. We've got a list of people, and we've got their salary. Adam and Erica were characters on All My Children. Okay, I love that show. Then it got canceled, unfortunately. Erica, you know, lost the Emmy, daytime Emmy, I think 18 times, where she won the 19th time. So never give up, or your dreams will come true. Sorry. Okay, so I did a VLOOKUP false here based on the name in the second column to find the salary. But then JR and Josh, okay, were characters on All My Children, but they're not on my list, so I get an NA. And then when I want to average that column, I get an error message because, or not available or no answer because of those NAs. Okay, so the trick is, can I get rid of those NAs and replace them by blanks? Because Excel ignores blanks in calculations. And the key is the great IFERROR function, which you should all be using if you're not already. Okay, you don't want your boss to see errors messages in the spreadsheet. So IFERROR works the following way. You do IFERROR and you type any formula you want in the Excel world. If the formula works, the answer goes in the cell. Otherwise, after the comma, you type the error message you want, which can be a blank or it could be a message like was fired, in other words, in this case. So let's apply IFERROR to this simple example. There's another way out here if you have Excel 2010 or newer using the aggregate function. Our file is error trap here. But let's just show you how this works with the IFERROR. Okay, so if I do IFERROR and do the VLOOKUP, so I do vertical lookup, okay, I do it from the person's name, $, the range, comma 2, comma false. Now that works great, but if the lookup in this example or any other example doesn't work, you could put a blank there, but I could put the message was fired if I want to be more explanatory. Because you'd like to explain why errors occurred. Okay, so that's why we couldn't get anything there. So I get a 34 and I drag that down. Whenever it can do the lookup, it does it, but when it can't, it puts the error message was fired. And I can average this whole range knowing that the text will be ignored. And that's great. Okay, now we'll use IFERROR again in our next example when we try and clean up NFL scores of games to figure out who the home team and away team was and how many points the home and away team scored, which we'll need for something we'll do in later videos. But another way to solve this problem with the NAs there, if I want to average that column with NAs, there's a function called aggregate in 2010. Or newer. So let's see how that would work. So I type equal aggregate. Okay. And so I want to do an average. Okay. Ignore error values. Number 6. And then I just plot my pick out my range. And I get to 74.667. But with that aggregate function and that second argument, sorry, if I go here, you can always click on the function wizard and see what's going on. Okay, so all these choices here, probably easier to see it if I just again go back there. But you might want to pay attention here. There's a lot of functions, and then here there's all these choices. Ignore error values, ignore hitting rows, ignore nothing. And so there's a whole bunch of choices here. I mean, I only use the ignore error values. But that basically concludes our discussion of IFERROR, but we'll see another example of IFERROR in our next video. And where if error is really useful, besides getting rid of NAs, is okay, if you download data from a data source, a database, or the internet, maybe every 20th row there's a heading and it doesn't have your data. And if you try and do a math calculation, you'll get an error message. What you really want is a blank in those rows. And we'll see an example of that. If you're a football fan, I think you'll enjoy that example with NFL data.
Okay, so thanks for watching, and there's a free course, a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, and all of these videos are coming from one of three books. So first, this one, which you can see here at the top of the screen, Microsoft's book, which has 355 reviews, and then it's, let's see, 4.6 stars. It's coming from this book as well, his marketing analytics book, which is down here, and you can sort of see 4.5, or his newest book, his analytics stories book, which is here. And with that one, you can see it's 4 point something, or maybe even 5. I don't think it's 5. Yeah, 4.8. And so, yeah, anyways, in the description, there's a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, or you can go to excelwithwayne.com/free, and it'll be there. But again, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just please let us know. Thanks.